How's it going, everybody? It feels like I haven't seen you in so long. I actually haven't done any readings in quite some time. Or I've done readings on the side, but no general readings. I was in a car accident last year that really kind of put me down for a while. I had to get surgery and all kinds of craziness, and so I've missed you guys, and I feel like I feel like, I haven't seen anybody for a very long time, and so I'm just super happy to be back in the swing of things. And with that in mind, I'm actually going to do things a little bit differently. I feel like, why not give you guys a whole well-rounded view of how the month's going to look. So the way I'm going to do things now is I'm going to give you just a very brief, understanding of the major things that are going on in the month. So the new moon, the full moon, and any kind of astrological events going on. And then I'm going to pull cards for love, health, and wealth. So you get a very well-rounded idea of the best things that you can do in a month for yourself to get the full benefit and to hopefully be able to use that energy and move forward. Hey, Sagittarius. All right, so let's start with love here. First of all, some messages that I did get is this month might be a little bit difficult to, balance your time when it comes to family stuff happening. It could be just with the retrograde as well. So if you have, it looks like you're feeling pretty hot and steamy. You've got all this charisma. You're ready to just kind of, have that time with the person of interest. Or if you, if you do have an opportunity to get with that person, or you do want to act on that, definitely take the opportunity when it comes, because it could get a little bit more difficult to manage and juggle your time. Okay, so overall in relationships, don't hold back, or don't let your past hold you back. So if you have, because of all that charisma, you just got to make sure you're not being too overzealous. So make your choice, with dignity and pride, but definitely, act on it if you're feeling so. A couple messages that did come out when it comes to, overall how you're feeling and things like that. Like I said, your charisma is just definitely on point. So, it's very easy to, put off this vibe that's, can just kind of bring in a lot of lust, and a lot of energy towards passion and things like that. So if you've got lots of options, just take a step back and make sure you're making it, with the best intentions for yourself, okay? And since you have options, you get to pick the best choice. All right, confidence is key to your success, so definitely don't settle for anything. And you could just have a lot of suitors this month as well. And so make your choice, with dignity and pride, and don't settle for anything on the lower part of the totem pole there, okay? That's the message that came out for that. Alrighty, so, current position when it comes to love here. Patience, kind of going with the flow there, letting things kind of transform accordingly. Maybe, the person that you have an interest in hasn't quite, given you the go, but you've got all these other options, but, you really don't want those options. That's clearly the universe saying, okay, well, are you going to be true to what you want and wait for that, or are you going to just settle for what, is less than what you necessarily want or deserve? And we'll just, in that case, you have to remember that could put a damper or a blockage or an obstacle in the way of attaining what it is you really wanted, because it changes the energies. And so just keep that in mind. You don't want to regret or lose an opportunity. Just be, like say you're at, someone else's place, or you decided to go kick it with someone else, but then this person reaches out and you're in the middle of that and you can't really leave. Maybe they wanted to see you tonight. Well, that would be a really shitty situation, because now you're in a position where you can't pursue that or not without making it awkward or feel just kind of weird about the situation, Otherwise you could have felt a lot better and a lot more excited and really put that enthusiasm into the evening with that person. And so just kind of keep that in mind, when you're making decisions. Let's see, suggested action to take when it comes to love, or just kind of overall advice this month, other than what I've given you. Believe in the impossible. So some of you feel like you're, maybe what you're wanting isn't, viable with this person, or maybe it just doesn't match, or whatever. For whatever reason, you don't feel like things are equivalent. You really need to get that out of your head and just put yourself in back kind of on a pedestal in your own way, you know, and remember your worth, and remember all of the things that make you, you know, awesome, and that make you a badass, and that make you stand out to other people, you know. So just kind of keep that in mind whenever your confidence is, you know, kind of in question. You want something bigger and better. It's coming your way, so don't back down or go backwards just because you question whether or not you deserve it. I mean, that is ridiculous, and that is something that will eventually just cycle around and around and around. So just to avoid all of that, you might as well just go ahead and give yourself like the okay to get the best, right? Okay. Now when it comes to wealth and career, there were a couple messages. Oh, that's funny that came out. Okay, so the messages were that it seems like something might not quite go the way that you planned for it to, or the way that like everybody planned for it to. Maybe there's a meeting where something kind of goes down a little bit differently, or there's a situation where you have to just kind of go with the flow. Whatever the shift is, whatever didn't go quite the way you expected it to or planned it for, you have a great opportunity to just ride it out and see where the wave takes you, because in this comes an opportunity for you, not only to showcase your skills and to really impress somebody, but it gives you like a new viable route in some way or another. So it either just completely defines, and that's not what the word I'm looking for. Retrograde in words are just bleh. It I guess validates, that's not the word I was looking for either, but it just gives like a solidity, I guess, to your position, to your loyalty, to your dedication, to the bigger picture, and wanting the best for, you know, morale, or the team, or the company, or your boss, or your partner, or whatever. You apply yourself in the way that is bigger than everyone else, but that shows leadership, and it shows, you know, where your true loyalties belong, and in that creates or brings about some other opportunity, or a door opens from that. So if that situation comes along, rather than fight the grain or letting, you know, your hot-headedness get in the way, just go with the flow and surprise people, because it will bring a really cool result. Virtue, you acknowledge your loving spiritual attributes that encourage others to grow. And so, yeah, rather than like, you know, you have the ability to move towards a bigger and brighter future, and you're like, okay, well, if that's, you know, the opportunity presents itself, I'm going to take it, and so you should, and that is what is being recommended in that. Just overall kind of, you know, the best way to handle the situation. Fiery climax approaches, so a really great, you know, promotion or recognition, something wonderful comes from that. So I would highly recommend that you take the opportunity to showcase, you know, yourself in that situation for sure. So overall kind of life message here for you. So, you know, it's important to put out your 2 cents, but it's also important to show your, you know, your beliefs towards the bigger picture, the bigger goal. And so I think that's where you're going to wind up really showing your dedication and loyalties to the foundation of what, you know, what you stand for with your position, you know, in whatever way that means. And so you've been waiting for this opportunity to kind of step it up in some way, maybe with somebody, or, you know, in the company, maybe just for your resume, whatever it is. But you were waiting for this opportunity, and it definitely comes. And so don't let any reserve hold you back from just going after this opportunity. Okay, definitely go for it, and let yourself just, again, ride the wave with it, and don't let any kind of reserve hold you back, or any hesitation. And just know that Spirit and your team and your higher self is saying, this is almost being unfolded just for you. So don't, so go after it, basically. Okay. All right. So my apologies on my bleh. Retrograde's not fun for me when it comes to being communication. That's drawback for me. But anyway, if you need any assistance, you guys just feel free to reach out. We're starting off the year with a super, super powerful and important type of new moon. It actually happened on the 2nd, and it's a really great time for a lot of ideas, a lot of stuff flowing in the mind, a lot of need for balance, a lot of need for grounding. So if you guys aren't doing, I'm going to shuffle while I talk here. If you guys aren't doing grounding, I would highly recommend doing, your 15 minutes of some type of meditation that you resonate to in the mornings. I can certainly put one in the box below just so that you can have, one if you don't have any in mind. But 15 minutes of an abundance meditation will not only get you grounded, but it'll get your head in the right space for the day. Even myself, I can't believe how many times I notice my teeth are grinding, or I just have so much energy, built up that I haven't called back. So, having a morning meditation just to kind of get your mind in the right space, and then in the evening, have another one. Even if it's 5 minutes, you guys, just to give yourself some space and some time to call back all the energy that you've dispersed throughout the day. Give yourself some time to really ground out that energy into those roots, into the ground, or whatever you resonate to, and get that white light energy going. White light energy from the top of your head, split it all the way down into a bubble around your body. Just giving yourself that moment to just kind of renew and refresh is about the best thing that you can do for yourself in any given day, especially if you are, out there all over the place talking to a lot of people. So that's where that was. So the new moon, it encourages us to think about old patterns and ways of structuring certain aspects of our lives. In 2021, we really continue to work on that, not devaluing ourselves, but really embracing our values. This particular new moon, typical new moons, you would want to initiate things, but this particular one, it encourages us to navigate this time more than initiate. So you're going to be thinking about how you're practicing your presence, how your awareness is, monitoring your emotions, and deciding really what stays or goes. That kind of pulls us into the full moon. So, we had a lot of things going on in 2021, and this particular full moon is reflecting, and this is going through the 17th is the full moon, just so you guys know, and it's in Cancer, so it can be a little finicky with the emotions, but it does reflect this month. It could bring up feelings and some emotional sensitivities. For others, it could be more irritability than anything. So if you're aware or you notice, your irritations or somebody else's, just pay more attention to maybe bringing a little bit of tenderness and some of that light touch to the situation, as opposed to, fighting the grain or bringing any kind of further intensity into the mix. If you're really aware, you'll notice that there's kind of an ambitious pull towards your purpose, towards power, towards deeper desires, towards goals that you've set. And you can also add some, just some of that gentleness to the load that you've got, because sometimes it can be overwhelming, okay? Excuse me, sorry. And then the Mercury Retrograde. Sorry to be the bearer of that one. That one is taking place on the 14th of January. It is going to be in Capricorn and Aquarius, which is interesting. It kind of makes, I'm a little curious on this one. I'm actually a Capricorn and an Aqua cusp baby, so I'm kind of curious on how this one's going to go. I don't know if I should be scared or excited, to be honest with you. But this one is going to let us revise the story that ended in December. So if you've noticed, there's actually kind of a similarity of this, concept and these lessons and tools and things that we're being asked to do between all three of the new moon, the full moon, and the retrograde. So the story that ended in December, it's going to be an opportunity to continue to reflect on that. You're going to have, this opportunity to just kind of reassess, who and what you align with. And it is a slowdown. Remember, guys, it's a slowdown in communication, transportation, sometimes in technology. And so stay a step ahead if you can. If you are able to get things, checked out, or deal with things that maybe are some loose ends, as much as possible, just deal with known issues so they don't become bigger ones later. Again, a time to reframe. It's an opportunity to handle anything that you didn't really, maybe, if it wasn't taken care of, again, like loose ends, maybe just be sitting on the back burner. Maybe you just need to look at something as a second look, or maybe you need to edit, whatever's in the goal or whatever's in the plan. But the more open and the more optimistic you are to that, the more confident you're going to have going into 2022. And so I would highly recommend just giving yourself a moment to ask yourself, are you holding yourself back in any way, or are you opening up, to a whole new ball game, which is kind of the goal that you set. I hope that helps. I hope you have a fantastic month. I am so happy to be back. Feel free to reach out if you're interested in a reading, or if you're interested in a Reiki healing, whatever I can do for you. I have all that information down below, and there's a little list right here as far as some of the things that I offer. So much love. I will talk to you next month. Bye, guys.